Mark Twain once wrote, "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of the people need to solely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all of one's time." Welcome to Makamba Life with me, James Makamba. And my guest today is living proof of the quote I've just shared. She's vibrant. She's the vibrant television producer, television host, and sought after MC. I'm sure you've added other titles since I wrote this, whose work has taken her all over the globe and this beautiful continent of Africa. Welcome, Miss Vimbai.
Thank you for having me.
Is it Vimbai or Vimbai?
Do you know what? It depends where I am.
Uh-huh.
You know, when we're outside in the abroad,
Yes.
Vimbai.
Vimbai.
But you know, when I come home, Vimbai.
Vimbai.
Yes, because I can't get away with that.
You can, you could.
I could, I don't know. I think people will look at me and be like, but that's Vimbai. So
Okay.
why are you going? Yeah.
So eventually, when the lucky man pays Lobola,
Yes.
and you know how we are about
Yes.
adopting
Surname.
the surname.
Yeah.
What happens then to Miss Vimbai?
You know,
Oh, that's your brand.
well, you know what? It's starting to fall away already. A friend of mine has been lecturing me about this endlessly because he keeps saying, you know what, Vimbai, this miss that you keep adding, huh? It's like you're now actually scaring suitors away because everybody thinks you're so committed to being miss.
Yes.
But I mean, it's something that I did once upon a time, and gradually, as brands evolve and grow, so will this.
We'll address it when we get to there. Yes.
Yeah, probably before even. I don't think I'm still really such a... Miss was a fierce, feisty young girl. I'm still fierce and feisty, but I'm certainly maturing into
A young lady.
A more respectable member of society, yes.
Michelle Obama, watch out. What would you describe as the most defining moment of your life so far? Your career, rather.
Of
than
my
life.
career? You know, I hate to be a cliche, but I think definitely it still has to be Big Brother. You know, being on that platform was, you know, the turnaround for me, because it's what exposed me to, you know, so many people who then reached out and wanted to work with me. So without that particular moment, yes, I believe in destiny. I believe I still would have gotten to where I need to get to, but that one moment just put everything in fast forward and made things happen, put things into motion a lot faster than they would have, you know, any other route.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts on reality television and its effect it has had on African pop culture? You are the right person to ask this, since you are now a Pan-African, artist.
Yeah. Well, I think there's two ways to look at it, because there's our local African reality television, and that's been very positive. Generally, it has done more positive than negative in that it has, you know, launched careers such as mine. It's given exposure to you know, raw talent that maybe wouldn't have ever had that platform. So, you know, in the sense of that, I love it on an African level. On a global level, you know, it's created a bunch of other movements that I'm not necessarily a big fan of. You know, obviously it influences us to be a lot more plastic, a lot more materialistic, and to aspire towards certain things that wouldn't necessarily be, you know, socially acceptable, aspirational. You've got people rushing to bleach their skin. You've got, you know what I mean? This is all because everybody wants to look like Kim Kardashian. People are putting bums in everything. You know what I mean?
I'm sure there are a lot of young ladies who want to look like Vimbai.
I hope so. I hope so.
Which takes me to the question: you have lived in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
Spent some time in Belgrade in Serbia, studied in Cape Town, and now you work between Johannesburg, largely, and Lagos.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
And there's been talk of xenophobia. Is this something that you have encountered during your travels or during your work?
You know what? I've been really fortunate not to have experienced xenophobia directly. However, I do see a lot of it around. You know, case in example, I was traveling from Lagos to Johannesburg with a very popular personality. I'm not sure if you know him. His name is Denrele. He's loud. He's got big hair. He wears heels. He's a colorful person.
A Nigerian brother.
Nigerian brother. Who's also in entertainment.
My
like
brother.
Exactly. So, you know, we got to immigration because, you know, we were on the flight together. So we disembarked together. Got to immigration. I mean, everything of his was in order. Excuse me. Everything of his was in order, but they unnecessarily harassed him for a very long time. Now, what the immigration officer didn't realize is that also on our flight next to me was one of the counselors for the South African embassy from Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes.
So he just stood aside and, you know, let the process roll out. And then when my friend got through and we all got through, then he waited for us in the end and he said, please tell me about your experience. And he explained what he went through. And, you know, he apologized profusely. He said, listen, it's not everybody who's like this. It's just one or two unfortunate incidents like this. So, you know, you see it in, that's kind of a more subtle form of it. But of course, on a larger scale, there's violence, people are dying, it's actually a very hectic phenomenon. So I always like to look at the lighter side, and I'm grateful that there are people who are trying to work to turn this narrative around. But unfortunately, it's our reality.
It's a reality, and it takes time,
Yes.
Going back to something that you mentioned a little earlier, research has shown that skin bleaching, you know, is becoming more common, you know, on the continent.
Yes.
And as a woman in the public eye and a professional, you know, woman, former model, I would like to hear your thoughts on this.
You know what? The pressure is immense. The pressure is immense. You know how many times I've been told, you're so beautiful for a dark girl. Not you're so beautiful.
Just for a dark girl.
You're so beautiful for a dark girl. Oh, dark girls never look this pretty. And I guess it's a kind of it's a reaction to the media.
Did you watch the Ugandan actress? Her speech when she received the what do they give in Hollywood?
The Oscar.
The Oscar.
Oh, who's this? Lupita.
Lupita, Kenyan.
Kenyan.
Lupita.
Yes.
Did you watch her acceptance speech?
I did.
When she spoke about being black,
yes,
how she was scared,
exactly,
and feared that she would never make it because of, you know, because she really is dark.
Yes.
You know, beautiful dark.
She's beautifully dark. She's also very natural. She keeps her hair natural. She's got strong features. And I just wish we could learn to celebrate that, because that's actually what the majority of us are. I'm not saying there's anything, you know, I think light skin, all shades of black are beautiful. But I just wish that we could embrace that some of us are darker shades and that's beautiful too.
So your view is you have nothing against bleaching?
Oh, no, I have everything against bleaching. It's totally unnatural.
But there are a lot of unnatural things that we do.
They're totally unnatural things that we do, but bleaching is, I think, the biggest manifestation of a low self-esteem.
Really?
It's a self-hate. I hate myself so much that I'm not going to go through a process that could potentially harm me, give me skin cancer, give me all, you know, X, Y, Z, so many things, just so that I can be accepted better or treated better.
But in showbiz, depending where you are, and modeling includes showbiz, you maybe have a lifespan of 25 to 30 years, if you're lucky, if you're good, maybe 5 to 10 years. And if your producer, your manager saying, girl, you really need to get bleaching if we are going to get you, you know, to Hollywood. What do you do? Then
you need to get a new manager.
But bleaching is not necessarily dangerous. If you do it in the back streets, if you get specialist surgeons and so on who do it properly, the people who have lived with bleaching all their lives and grown up to be pretty old men or old women. Michael unfortunately didn't grow up to be.
He didn't. Yeah, his own version of bleaching was somewhat different. But I'm anti it. I believe in the value of talent, because, you know, you're talking about the lifespan of a career in entertainment. It's not this. This is gonna fade. Definitely, ultimately, it's going to fade. So you need something that's going to keep you there a lot longer when the bleaching trend is gone, when the Brazilian trend is gone, when the, you know,
I hope the Brazilian will be succeeded by the African.
I know, by the African, by the natural. Well, I'm still enjoying it, so for now, it can continue. But it's talent, it's character. That's how you build longevity, and a sustainable level of success.
What are the misconceptions of Lagos, of African capitals, you work largely between Johannesburg and Lagos, and people say you come from Nigeria, you begin to hear, they offload.
Yes.
What are the misconceptions? You have had the privilege to work and live there now.
Jeez, what are the misconceptions?
Yes.
I think, wow. I wouldn't so much say misconceptions, but I think there's certain elements of a city like Lagos that, from an outsider, seem abnormal, but once you're an insider. So, for example, everybody feels that Lagos is a chaotic city. But once you spend more time there, you realize that there's order to the chaos. It's an organized madness, and Lagosians understand it. So it's not just, chaos for the sake of chaos. It's just a way that people have come to understand how to do things in that environment. So I think the chaos is definitely one big misconception. What's another big misconception of Lagos?
That you can easily be strayed off.
That you can easily be straight off. Well, I think that's any big city anywhere in the world. It has its blessings and its curses.
That the women are more aggressive.
Oh, that's not a misconception. I love that Nigerian women are so bold and strong, and they stand their ground, they're firm, and that's why you have so many massive, successful names out of the Nigerian continent, because they're fighters. They've got, they call it gra-gra. They've got, yes.
So gra-gra only refers to women?
No. It can refer to anybody.
To men as well.
A level of aggression, a level of a hunger for what you want.
Okay.
So I think in a negative context, I wouldn't say Nigerian women are aggressive in a negative way. I just love the fact that they're go-getters, they're dreamers, and they're ready to go for whatever they want.
Okay. So Nollywood started as a joke, as a backstreet movie industry. Is it correct? I've seen a movie shot between Lagos and Atlanta.
Yes.
And Nigerian actors and actresses are being taken more seriously.
Yes.
And they have received awards in different capitals of the world.
Yes.
How is the movie entertainment scene in Lagos now?
You know what? The development, the progression is beautiful. Listen, I know that there's still a lot going on that can be done better. There can still be structure. There's still too many productions that aren't taking care of their people. But on the flip side, you look at, like you said, 30 Days in Atlanta by AY. You look at, for example, Moa Budu, she's done The Wedding Planner. They're now doing part 2 of The Wedding Planner. They're shooting it in Dubai.
Incredible.
So there's so many different high-level international standard productions that are happening now. You even see them on Netflix. You see them on so many international platforms.
Yes.
So I think that's a positive narrative. It shows that there is a group of people who've decided that, enough is enough. Let's do things the right way.
And our own way.
And our own way.
In the process.
Yes.
So just run us through your own growth. From the time you were in Big Brother, until now. This is free commercial time for you.
It is free commercial time, right?
Plug it.
Well, you know what? I've come a very long way. I know I was speaking to one of your crew members about the days after Big Brother when we were chasing endorsements and hustling and just trying to make anything happen. And I was fortunate enough to be headhunted for the flagship show. At the time, it was Africa Magic's flagship show. It was called Stargist, which is a daily entertainment news show, and that was such a brilliant place because that's where I learned my craft. That's where, and I was fortunate. They invested so much in me. They gave me coaching, they gave me all the support I needed until they felt that I was ready to host Africa's biggest award show, which is the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards, and I went on to host that 3 years in a row.
Was it from Johannesburg?
No, it's a live broadcast from Lagos.
Wow.
So my first 2 years, they flew me,
live from Lagos.
From Lagos, exactly. So, in the beginning, they would actually, fly me from South Africa to Nigeria to be a part of this production. And it was such a huge learning curve, besides, the element of live television. Imagine going live to a bunch of people
huge audience. According to the listenership survey, you must have reached about how many million?
You know what? For the AMVCA, you're looking at a good 10 million. You're looking at a good 10
It's
million
big.
for the. It's
That's
massive.
big.
And then you need to remember that I was new to the Nigerian audience at the time. So
How
overnight
did they
had to
receive you?
learn.
Was there a feeling that why is not this being hosted by one of our girls, by then they had quite a number of leading actresses.
They did. But
Did you encounter that
I
kind
did.
of resistance and hostility?
James, you know what? The first year was a very painful experience because it was from amongst my peers. It wasn't even the viewers.
Yes.
It was my own peers who, one girl went so much as to hold my makeup artist and my hairstylist hostage.
Wow.
So guess what? 30 minutes before going live, I was just me. I mean, I love my natural beauty, but it just doesn't cut it for television. And people were running helter-skelter looking
my
for,
God.
we need hair, we need makeup, we need to,
Unbelievable.
only to find that one of the girls had locked up the makeup artist and kept her busy in her room. So I did experience
Yes,
that.
yes.
But you know what? That's why I always emphasize talent and character. I pushed through, and the producers of the show felt like, you know what? There's something about this girl. She needs to come back. And at that point, it was now a question of, will the viewers understand me? As much as this is broadcast to the whole of Africa, I'm here in Nigeria, in Lagos, how can I connect with these people on a level that they'll feel that they'll respect that I'm Zimbabwean, but love the fact that I've taken the time out to understand their culture.
Now, tell me, you must have a life philosophy.
A life philosophy.
Yeah, a lot of viewers would want to hear what your life philosophy is, number one. Number two, you must have learned something about life, okay? Both from a professional angle, family, study, working, success, tragedy, or what? How would you sum up life, according to you? What have you learned about life?
That's such a loaded question.
Well,
how do we...
We're friends.
I'm wondering how to do this without letting the sun set. I feel like I'll be ranting forever.
You're a professional. You can sum it up in 2 minutes.
You know what? I think life is about following your instinct. Whatever you believe in or whichever maker you believe in, your instinct is what's connected to your maker. And it's what drives your purpose. It's what drives where you're ultimately meant to go. And because you're meant to go in that direction, you're protected, you're provided for, and your needs are met. Excuse me. It's also the path where you'll meet angels and helpers and people who will help you to fulfill your destiny. So I think the greatest piece of advice or the greatest life philosophy that I've learned, which applies to everything from relationships to business to finances, is learn to be still and listen to your instinct, know the voice of your instinct, and follow it unapologetically.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know who your angels are? Have you met your angels?
My angels, I have so many.
You
I'm
have so
so
many.
fortunate. I'm very, very fortunate.
Good.
I can't name all of, literally, because I believe in the reason, season, and lifetime. Some angels just pop in and out.
Yes.
Some are always there.
Some are there just to sound a warning and disappear.
Exactly.
Yes. Some are there to celebrate with you.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then some will hold your hand from the time you didn't even realize you needed them, to now. My mentor is one such person who just found me, when I didn't even realize that what I needed was a guardian angel. And to this day, he's still my guardian angel.
Are you allowed to mention him?
Yes, his name is Prophet TV Joshua.
Oh,
And,
wow. The man.
The man
The
himself. The man himself.
The man himself. Should it give me an introduction?
I will, definitely,
Yes,
without a doubt.
yes,
I
yes.
love to, and he loves to meet people. He's a people person.
Yes.
But he loves people, and he loves to see people do well.
There must be, when you were making preparations to appear on this show, there must be a couple of questions you said, I'm sure James is going to ask me that. I hope James doesn't ask me that. I hope he asks me that. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to share with the viewers?
Is there anything that you... I was wondering whether you would ask me about... but I'm not sure if I want you to ask it, though. I'm kind of exhaling because I'm like, I'm glad we missed that one. I think about working in Zimbabwe, I do get a lot of questions. Often people say, well, this is great, we hear about you all around Africa. We never hear about you in Zimbabwe. So I think that's a question that I was just like, oh, I hope James doesn't
Have you done work in Zimbabwe? Do you do work in Zimbabwe?
Not lately.
Not lately. Yeah.
Yes. My instinct is not driving me there at the moment.
Yes.
I don't feel...
And I guess demand when it comes will call you there.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what? I do get a lot of offers from there. I get a lot of requests from there. But I'm grateful again that I'm at a stage in my career where I can be very selective.
Do you see politics on the horizon?
For me?
For you?
Never.
The first lady president of the republic.
Never, ever.
La Republique.
Never, ever. I will be there rooting for them. I'm sure at some point I might invest in a young person who needs backing or whatever it is, but myself as a politician, never. I like to enjoy my life in peace.
Well, it's been great. I hope you did enjoy the show today. I hope you enjoyed the show, Vimbai.
I loved it. This has been fantastic.
We should stay in touch. We should, through all the platforms. What do we have? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
Snapchat,
the good old telephone.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much for making the time to appear on Makamba Life.